I'd like to show you about estimation. An estimation is when you can cut the card, you know kind of exactly how many you've got really, but I'm going to let you do it. And the catalyst for this will be the 4 jacks. And so obviously we've got the jack of clubs, the jack of diamonds, the jack of spades, and the jack of hearts. And I'm going to leave the jacks aside for a moment. And I'd like you to take the deck and to cut it into 4, if you can, equal piles. Try and get 12 in each pile if you can. Take some practice, but have a first stab at it. So the spectator does this free cutting, and they're not very precise. But anyway, how many do you think in the first packet? 12? Okay, I think you're probably about right. I'm going to mark it with the first jack. How many in the second packet? About 13. Okay, I'll mark it with the second jack. How many in the third packet? Yeah, probably about 14. So I'll mark it with the third jack, and probably about 14 in the last packet. I'll mark it with the last jack. Now, before we go any further, the jack's going to do a little trick for us, because if I do this, the jack's going to bounce from these 3 packets and join this 4th packet over here. And I think they've done it. 1, 2, 3, 4 jacks. Success. But that's not it, because you cut any way you wanted to. The spectator really did. You cut here, the ace of clubs, the ace of spades, the ace of hearts, and the ace, no, not the ace of diamonds, the 3 of diamonds. Hang on a second. Oh, I know. That's an indicator card. 1, 2. That's the 3rd card, and that is the ace of diamonds. Well done.
Hello folks, you know one of the most famous card tricks of all time is the 4 ace trick, just using 4 aces. I'd like to show it to you. Now, one by one the aces are going to turn face up in the packet one by one, but with no funny moves whatsoever. Come down, let me show you what I mean by that. So I've got the 4 aces, the ace of clubs, hearts, spades and diamonds, and these are blue-backed casino playing cards. Now all I do is this, and now these aces will turn face up one by one, starting right there with the ace of clubs. The next one to turn face up is the ace of diamonds. The third one to turn face up is the ace of hearts, and then the last one to turn face up is the ace of spades. All aces have turned face up. But these aces are not just acrobats, they are also quick change artists. And what I mean by that is they've changed into some very pretty clothes. And have a look at that. These are pretty stunning and gorgeous outfits. If you've got a pack of playing cards with 2 jokers in it, you could do a miracle. I'd like to do it for you right now. I'm going to give the cards a shuffle, and I'd like you to choose a card from the deck. It's a free choice, and you'd like to take that one there. That's fine. Have a good look at it. Now, just in case you can't see it, I'm going to write that on the screen so you can see it. I'll lose it into the deck. It's not on the bottom and it's not on the top. It's somewhere in the middle. But the jokers are going to try and find it. They're kind of going to do it without any moves whatsoever. Watch closely. So the 2 jokers will go on top of the deck, and turn them face down, and they're going to hunt through the deck looking for the selection. I think they've done it. Watch closely. Look, joker, face down card, joker. They have sandwiched 1 playing card, and that card should be your card, the king of spades. I'm here to tell you how card cheats cheat and switch cards in games of, I don't know, poker, something like that. Maybe in the casinos, not so easy in the casinos, but maybe in your local casino, in your town or city or village. But most likely probably in the back room of a pub or a restaurant or a club, or maybe even at home. And to show you how it's done, I'm going to use 4 ace of diamonds and 4 ace of spades. The reason I'm using duplicates of these cards is it's easier to follow. So I've got 4 ace of spades, 1, 2, 3, 4 ace of spades, and 4 ace of diamonds. Now to start with, I'm going to leave one of the ace of diamonds over here. I'm going to switch in, openly place here an ace of spades. If I do the move like that, I've now got all ace of diamonds. That might have been a bit too quick. I'll do it again, a little bit slower. So I'll place an ace of diamonds there, and an ace of spades over here with the other 3 ace of diamonds. But all I have to do is a switch like that, and over here I've now got all ace of diamonds. I'll do it again. Look, an ace of diamonds, and it is the ace of diamonds, goes over here, and the ace of spades, and it is the ace of spades, goes over here. But all I have to do is a switch like that, and over here I've now got 4 ace of diamonds. I'll do it one last time. This time I'm going to sneak out an ace of diamonds from the center and replace it with the ace of spades. If I do the move like that, over here I've now got all ace of diamonds. You've got to watch closely. Now, if I've got all ace of diamonds here, I must have all ace of spades there. Well, actually, I've just done a double switch on you, because over here I've now got all ace of spades. I've got all ace of spades here. I must have the ace of diamonds over here. Well, actually, in most card games, jokers are wild, and in this case I've actually switched in 4 of them, so I just can't lose really, can I? And that's how you cheat and switch cards. I'd like you to use your wildest imagination that the 4 aces are out here because we've just completed a 4 ace trick. I'd also like 4 cards chosen from the deck. Well, we don't have 4 spectators here, so let's assume that 4 cards have been chosen, and just to make this very crystal clear, let's just assume that those 4 cards happen to be, I don't know, the 4 kings, something like that, the 4 kings. So I'm giving the cards a mix and also a couple of cuts. Now, I'd like you to choose these aces in any order that you want, and they're going to locate the kings. So ace of hearts, okay, that's fine. Ace of hearts it is. Now I'm going to deal cards to the table. Any stage you want, I'd like you to say, well, stop here, okay? I'm going to mark the deal with the ace of hearts, the first one you've chosen, and leave it face up in the deck. I'll do that again. So which one would you like this time? Clubs, okay, that's fine. Clubs it is. I'm going to deal cards to the table, free choice. As I deal through, say stop where you want. Right here, okay, we'll place the ace of clubs there. That marks the deal. Let's do the again with the diamonds and spades. Spades next, okay, I'll deal through the cards, just say stop wherever you want. Right here, okay, I'll place the spades there, thereby marking the deal. And finally with the last ace, the ace of diamonds, say stop where you want. And the spectator can generally say stop wherever they want. So, I'll spread the cards on the table, and you can see the aces that are face up here, 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 and here. And right next door to the aces is this card here, this card here, this card here, and this card here. Bearing in mind you could have said stop anywhere you wanted to. Well, you said stop in these 4 positions, and you've managed to locate the king of hearts, the king of clubs, the king of diamonds, the king of spades. That's the 4 selections, and that is magic. The 2 cards on the table are the red jacks, and the spectator can generally shuffle the cards, and that's true. These are the red jacks, but they could be, say, the jokers or something like that out of the deck. Now, I'm going to take a bunch of cards out of the deck. I'm not going to take too many because I'm going to whittle it down to a smaller bunch, and I think we're going to use these ones here. Now, I'm going to riffle up on the corners of the cards like this. I'd like you to say stop anywhere you want, and you really can. And if you can't see it on the screen, we'll put the name of the card up on the screen once the imaginary spectator has said stop. So I'll go to the cards, say stop where you want. Right here. Now, can you see that card? Can the camera see that card? If not, like I say, we'll stick it on the screen, but it is a free choice, and it really is. Now, I'm going to spread the deck on the table, and I'd like you, the spectator, to put the 2 jacks anywhere you want. Maybe one near the top, one near the bottom. It's up to you, and it really is up to the spectator to place them anywhere they want, and they really do. So you've marked the deck by placing the red jack, or jack of hearts there, and the jack of diamonds over there, which leaves a bunch in the middle. Now, the card that you freely chose is either in this bunch or this bunch or this bunch, obviously, but I'm going to take the middle bunch and have a look here. I'm going to deal through the cards and just see if your card is there. If you see your card is there, it gives you some inkling as to where the card is. Well, obviously you know where it is. Now, I'm going to take these cards and shuffle the whole lot. If I do that, this is real good mix of the cards. I think that's a good shuffle. Yeah. Now, if I spread the cards on the table like this, the 2 jacks are now face up near the centre, and they're sandwiching 1 playing card after all that. It's a free choice at the beginning. You place the jacks anywhere you want to do in the spread, which separates the spread differently. But that is the 1 card sandwiched between them, and that should be your card, and I believe it is the 7 of spades.
You have the 4 kings and 4 spot cards. Simple as that. And the king of spades will be the leader, which I shall leave here, and the other 3 kings I'm going to put beneath like so, which leaves me obviously with the spot cards. Now I'm going to put one of the spot cards on top of the king of spades and one of the kings with the spot cards. If I do that, watch the king of clubs, it's going to vanish and it's gone. Let's do that again. I'll leave one of the spot cards here. I shall put the king here, just in case you don't believe me. That really is a king. If I do this, it's going to vanish, and it really has vanished. Let's do that one last time. I'll put a spot card here. The last king... Oh, you don't... Let's just cut to the quick here, because I've just got 4 spot cards here, and over here I've got the king of hearts, the king of clubs, the king of diamonds, and the king of spades.
Well, folks, I'd like to have a card chosen and I'd like to have it signed as well. But there's a problem. There's nobody here to sign it. So let's assume somebody's going to choose a card. It doesn't matter what card it is. Let's take this one here from the deck. Now, like I said, ideally it could be signed, but we don't have anybody to sign it. But I'd like you to have a look at the card, remember it. I'll try and put it on the screen if you forget it. Okay, there it is. Now, I'm going to try, now verbally underline the word try, show you a little miracle using the black kings and the red kings. Now, first off, I hope your card's not on the bottom, and I hope your card's not on the top. If it was, I'd lose it. So I'm going to deal with the black kings to start with, okay, the black kings to start with. I'm going to place the black kings on the top of the deck, and everything I'm going to do, I'm going to try and do it in slow motion. So the black kings go on top, the king of clubs and the king of spades. I'm going to cut them into the centre, right down there. I don't know exactly where they're going to end up, but they're going to end up somewhere in the deck together, which leaves me with the red kings here. Watch very closely. I'm going to place the red kings together on the top of the deck. If I do this, turn them face down, instantly they capture one playing card, the Queen of Spades, right there. And I assume the Queen of Spades is your card. Am I right? I'm right, I thought so. It should be signed. And that really is between the two red kings, by the way. Let me do something else for you. Look, if I do this, turn the red kings over again, instantly the Queen of Spades vanishes. It's no longer there. It's not there. If I spread the deck, there's one card sandwiched between the two red kings that's been there, the two black kings rather, that's been there from the start, and that should be the Queen of Spades. And it is.
I'm sure you folks know that oil and water just don't mix. If you put oil and water together, they separate. The oil separates from the water. It's the same with the playing cards, and I could prove that to you using these 10 cards here. And I have got 10 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm going to show you exactly what I've got here. These are a mixture of reds and blacks, oil and water, and they are interlaced 1 and 1. So let me show you. I've got red and black, red and black, red and black, red and black, and red. If I separate these into two piles, I've got red and black, and red. That's the same from the top. But watch very closely how I can do some magic with these cards, because these cards just don't mix. No, they really don't mix, because over here I've now got all the red cards. I've got all the red cards right here. I must have all the blacks here, but I have. But these blacks are the best blacks you can get in a game of poker. But you can't use these in a game of poker because these cards came from 5 very different decks.